Hey, what's good, you guys? This is your boy Jaquan, the host.
Your co-host, Kelis Booker.
Here at Keep It a Grand Radio, where we mix culture,
conversation,
and music that is true. All right, so how do you feel we're here at the very first episode of Keep It a Grand Radio / podcast? It's an epic moment.
It is an epic moment. I'm slightly nervous, but really stoked, really excited. Ready to get the show rolling, man.
Yeah, we about to make some history with this thing,
for
guys.
sure.
We're going to get into some brief intros, a little backstory on the both of us. Like I said, my name is Jaquan Grant. I am a motivational hip-hop artist from Hampton Roads. You know, I am a veteran. I am a father of 3. I am a husband, but most importantly, I am a black man. I'm all about, pushing the culture forward. Of course, having a good time. We're going to get lit. We're going to have a vibe, but, always pushing the culture forward. And yeah, that's what I stand for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I'm your co-host, Kelis Booker. I'm 24. God-fearing woman first, mother second, businesswoman immediately after. I'm a licensed cosmetologist in the state of North Carolina and Virginia. I am located in Williamsburg, Virginia, salon-based, so y'all come see about me. One day out the week, I go and service my seniors. I have my 3-year-old son, Royal. That's my world. That's my joy. And, yep, that's pretty much a little bit about me.
Yeah, so you're all about giving back to the community.
For sure, they paid the way.
For sure, that's how it's supposed to be. So, y'all, we're going to get into our very first segment. It is Track of the Week. This week, we'll be playing myself, Jaquan Grant, Abuse. It's a domestic violence record that I wrote. I got inspiration by, Joyner Lucas, Eminem, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, just to name a few. And I basically wanted to tell a story that not only that I connect with, but a lot of people actually experience and have dealt with. So definitely we're going to get into this record. Let's get into it.
Yeah, don't we love music that's relatable?
Right, that's how it's supposed to be.
I got a story that I want to tell, but I can't tell it by myself. I got some wounds that I need to heal, but I'm too proud to ask for any help. So I'ma keep it locked inside with a lock and a chain. I know it's pride, but I don't think you can understand. So I'ma live inside my head, and whenever I get mad, I take it out on y'all instead. It's like no one take the time to appreciate the things that I did. All the sacrifices I made just for you and this kid. I work a job that I hate, cause I know we need bread and make it home, and all I wanna do is lay in my bed. But instead, make it home to some complaining and noise. Take me back to the time as a little boy. Everything that I suffered, everything I endured, I was taught when those with needing discipline just make a choice. And it's cool to raise my hand, that's the way I show my love. I gotta inflict some pain if I wanna make a point. And you gotta destroy all of the things they think they want. And don't say a word inside this home, I'm the only voice.
He loves you not. All of the pain, you just want it to stop. It's all the same how it gets so bad. What happened to make him change, why it gets so mad? But then he say that he loves you, he's sorry he hurt you. You have to believe that it won't happen again until it happens again. Until it happens again. I got a story that I wanna tell, but I can't tell it by myself. I got some wounds that I need to heal, but with some makeup they won't ever tell. I get a bruise, I tell him I fell. Most of the time he get mad, I'm blaming the world or blaming myself. It always wasn't this violent when it came to us. I knew at times he wasn't faithful, but I was in love. Now it's harder to wake up in the morning or look myself in the mirror. Don't know if I could keep going. But with the birth of my daughter, I know I gotta be stronger. I know I gotta protect her, cause I know that she growing. But I question everything, I wanted to change. I wanted to stop, I wanted to gain. Self-love, be the mother that I know she need. But I don't know if I can really leave, even after everything. I wanted some wedding bands, but I see my trade in my ring and became a punching bag. They told me to run, but I'm really scared. I can only leave if I end up dead. The words he said.
They love me not. All of the pain, I just wanted to stop. It's all the same how it gets so bad. I just wanna disappear and just don't come back. You should know that I love you, I'm sorry I hurt you. I promise to change, so it won't happen again. No, it won't happen again. Until it happens again. I got a story that I wanna tell, but I can't tell it by myself. I got some wounds that I need to heal. I'm acting out because I need help. Since I'm a kid, they act like I don't exist, but with everything there's nothing I ever miss. I don't know who I should blame, so I take it on another kiss. I don't care about getting in trouble cause I wanted this. At least if I can get you guys yelling at me, then at each other's throat, I feel like I'm creating some peace. I heard a story that before I was born, it was better, no fighting of any kind, actually we're together. I wonder if I'm the problem. I notice when Dad look at me, he's quick to yell and break me down, and then I cry eventually. I contemplate on taking pills and falling into the deepest sleep and never waking up again. Maybe that is all I need. I just want to stop all the pain that you both feel. I don't want to be the only reason you're both here. Maybe taking me out the equation, you both heal for real. Yeah.
Hurt people, but healing is possible. We have to face our pain before we pass it on.
Leaving isn't always simple, but no one deserves to live in fear. You are not alone. There is help, there is hope, and there is a way forward.
Kids see everything. What happens at home shapes who we become. Please don't let your pain become ours.
If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence,
seek help. Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at
1-800-799-SAFE 7233.
So yeah. So that's abuse. I wrote that record back in 2019, so it's been some years since I wrote it.
Okay.
So I wrote the entire song, the first verse, the second verse, the third verse, and I created it like a story.
Old to you, new to us.
Yeah, for sure. But I wanted, like I said, I wanted to tell a story that was different. And I knew I needed the right people to bring a part of it. So shout out to Bella Melody. She's a very, very dope producer and songwriter from Virginia Beach, the Hampton Roads area. Shout out to Isabella Dottie and Catherine Dottie, who allowed her daughter to be a part of it, because I knew in order for me to basically do this story the right way, I needed a woman to play a mom, but I also needed a kid to play the child. So this is both of their very first time recording as well. So put them in the studio. Shot a music video.
Yeah, man, y'all did it. Okay.
It was lit. Did a short film as well. We're pushing up to like 50,000 views right now on YouTube. So y'all make sure y'all support for sure.
Y'all gonna tap in.
But that's basically what I wanted to do with the record. So appreciate y'all for checking that out. We're gonna get into our next segment. All right, this is gonna be Culture Talk, where we talk about the culture and what's happening in the culture. So what just happened this past weekend, right? Halloween. And we was able to, take the little ones out trick-or-treating, but...
First off, shout out to the adults that had...
She was getting lit.
Man, what? They had Jello shots. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is something that y'all are used to, but I'm not.
Never.
Ever in my life have heard Jello shots. I'm like, they like vodka, tequila. I'm like, ooh, gimme. But y'all...
Halloween's supposed to be for the kids, and
for the adults, because we out there walking with them kids.
Fast,
we need some too.
Listen, hey, I am not mad at you, because it'd be crazy that amount of walking. And was it cold? See?
Shout out to y'all adults for them Jello shots. That's all I got.
Yeah, but other than just like trick or treat, we was able to see some celebrities. They put that shit on. They had some nice,
heavy emphasis on
some nice costumes. Definitely, we seen some that was horrible. But yeah, so I want to get into the ones that we liked and the ones that we didn't like. So
okay,
I'm gonna start off with you first. Give me your ones that you thought were really good and the ones that you were like, nah, hell nah. Take that back to the stove. Why do you got that on?
So I did like. I don't know if that was this year though. Kim Kardashian, I believe, was she the Avatar this year or was that last year?
You know what? I saw something about her being the Avatar. I think that was this year.
If it was this year, I like that one, but there weren't too many
that you like
that I liked.
So tell
honestly,
me one you hated or you disliked.
So. Off rip, Lizzo with this mozzarella stick. Like, I don't know what was going through Sis's head. Like, let's be food and
want to be different.
Mozzarella stick from Chili's.
That's crazy.
Not Applebee's, not Longhorns, not your Food Lion brand, not your Walmart brand.
Yeah.
But Chili's. So
she might want to fire her stylist for that, because
Yeah, shame on the stylist. And if the stylist had nothing to do with that, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Shame on you. Because a mozzarella stick, can we just be for real? And then, I can't even remember the other celebrity that did the Medusa this year.
Oh, Heidi Klum.
My Instagram name is Medusa. How dare you? How dare you do us like that?
She definitely was a hot mess.
Like, what about you though? What you think?
I had a couple that I liked for sure. So Megan Thee Stallion for sure was number one. Megan was dressed up as Drota, which is like this anime character from this show, Castlevania. And when you watch that show is crazy.
I don't watch anime, so I wouldn't understand.
You don't watch anime? Oh
no,
yeah, we're gonna have to actually get her hip because you have to at least watch a couple.
Do it. I don't know what it is.
No, see, it's not okay. Now, granted,
Anyway.
some of that shit do be like extra and OD. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about just like a lot of it just having fighting and just, but some of it really be like real life stories. It's like when you watch like a movie or something, you hear like you see like some motivation or some little tips. Like I grew up, you know what I'm saying? I was a blurred, I guess you can say, a black nerd.
Okay.
So I grew up watching like Dragon Ball Z and shit like that. But for my appearance, you don't see it. Like when I go out and I be like amongst people who like that, they look a specific way, and I look gold teeth chain. Like I look, you know what I'm saying? It's different. But you know,
surprised me over here. He was able to name the character. I'm like, oh, so you watch anime?
I watch it. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna judge. I watch it for sure. But yeah, she was dressed up as Drota. I like Janelle Monáe, so she did a Cat in the Hat, and she just be when she does her costumes and she just go all out. Like there was one year I think she was E.T.
Okay.
There was one like she just does that with her. You know, she's real creative as far as her costumes and her outfits. You know, just even how she express herself.
And shout out to the artists
right?
that are able to even
pull that off because just think about it. How much makeup, how much time.
Man, and I know it's just so like intricate, like
yeah. But nah. I like Megan. I like Janelle Monáe. I like I Show Speed. We were talking about that. So I Show Speed was dressed up as Reverse Flash. So I'm not real big. And this is the funny thing. Talking about anime, talking about comics or whatever. I don't read comics or nothing like that. I'm not into that aspect of it. But I will watch it. So I think the character he was somebody that was based off of like a more so a comic book character. It's not like the main like Flash, I guess you can say.
The really the OGs, because if you want to be real, the superheroes in the comic books are the OGs, and they don't give too much spotlight to
okay,
all
put me on game. What's your favorite superhero?
So I feel like my favorite superhero,
like what's one of the
I'm
ones?
quite indecisive, so I don't really have a favorite.
Well, just who pop in your mind? It don't gotta be your favorite.
Off rip, I'm going with Catwoman.
Catwoman?
Off rip.
You consider that a superhero?
Well, is she not? Like, does she not perform the task to save the people?
She's kind of like a anti-hero, low key. Like, she really be like...
A hero is a hero. You say the world, you a hero. Catwoman, there we go.
Okay, so Catwoman.
I'm not going to be...
Give me somebody with powers,
Superwoman. Like, I'm not...
Give me somebody with
powers.
Abilities, though.
Okay.
Catwoman is like a burglar that can flip. Acrobatic. Like, give me...
Okay, so in that case, the Hulk.
Okay,
I love the Hulk.
You got the green on too.
Yeah, I do. I like the Hulk only because it's just like y'all know when he show up, it's damage. It's a wrap. Okay, y'all already know. Put the case down. Put the weapons down. This one, y'all can't take this one down.
Yeah. So I Show Speed, Megan Thee Stallion, Janelle Monáe. Now the ones I dislike, so I did not care for Sia. She was dressed up as a pink crayon. And she had like a cone head and everything with it. Like, so Sia, the singer Chandeliers, if y'all ever heard that song.
Which, I'm sorry, can we just throw that in there? I did not know that was like a suicidal song.
Oh, it is? Oh, I didn't know that. You put me on game.
Literally listening to the lyrics, reading the lyrics, it's literally like she's going to swing by the chandelier, like from the chandelier. Like they did some deep dive. Like I did some deep diving, and other people were like deep diving on her lyrics and stuff too. But when you look at those lyrics, that's like a suicide song.
Oh shit! Okay, I ain't. That's crazy. You just put me on that. I ain't know that. The second person I would say is Winnie Harlow. I know I'm gonna get some flack because everybody loves Winnie Harlow, but I didn't care too much for her outfit though. Like she was dressed up, like I said, some Sunday ice cream, caramel, something just sprinkled.
Along the lines of a mozzarella stick from Chili's.
Yeah, basically.
So,
that's kind of what it looked like. That's really what it looked like. So
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, I don't like it. Julia Fox dressed up as Jackie Kennedy. I didn't care too much about that only because, like, I get she was doing it as a statement because that's what they said. Jackie Kennedy left the blood on her outfit as a statement. But I just feel like it was a little tasteless. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? This lady just lost her husband, right? He was assassinated in JFK. And I don't feel like, you know how you were just talking about earlier with Ice Spice? I feel like it's certain people.
Yeah.
Like, that's like me.
Girl.
That's like me dressing up as George Floyd with, you know what I'm saying, something on my neck, like trying to make a statement. It's like, it's certain shit that's just a little tacky. So when I saw that, I was just like, nah, I ain't care too much about it, especially with the blood spatter and stuff.
Yeah, that was too much. Why ain't
No, go ahead. What you want to say? What you want to say?
Why ain't nobody want to be Trump?
Right? You know what I'm
Why ain't
saying?
nobody want to be Trump?
So I'm like, I ain't care too much for saying that. But other than that, it was definitely some ones that were really, really dope. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is going to be Versus. So Versus came out, I think it was like the 25th or so a week or two ago.
Yeah.
Growing up, you know what I'm saying, I listened to a lot of Cash Money, you know what I'm saying, Wayne, BG, Juvenile. I listened to a lot of them, and I really didn't listen to a lot of No Limit growing up. Like Master P, I knew about who he was from a business standpoint. Every time people talked about Master P, it was like, this nigga got his hands in everything. Okay. People don't even know he was in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What? Yeah, he was a rapper. He was in NBA. He was one of the first rappers in the South that actually, was really, really successful. Without him and No Limit, a lot of these other labels that came out, your Cash Money, they wouldn't have been as successful. So he was he was selling CDs out the trunk. So we're talking about early 90s. So, you know what I'm saying? I went in biased. I'm like, hey, because especially when you play Back That Ass Up, it's like, you really can't beat that record. But I was so surprised. Like, it was records that they were playing. I'm like, oh, damn, I didn't know that's No Limit. Like,
no, I promise you, I was in the songs and I was like, oh, wait, maybe I do know these songs.
Yeah.
Maybe I do know this record,
It was some records that I was super surprised. Like, Chopper Style. Chopper Style was at every fucking family reunion growing up.
That's what I'm saying, especially Chopper Style. When I came across that, I was just like, this is who was singing it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay.
So yeah, they had some records though. You had Chopper Style. I like the I know you heard this record before. You ain't gotta say too much, but the look in your eyes, I can tell you wanna fuck. And you ain't gotta come in your. Oh my God! What? I can't believe that record used to be played so much. I think the biggest thing also was Snoop Dogg. So Snoop Dogg, which we know is a icon. He was signed to No Limit at one point, so he was playing some records. But yeah, it was definitely a cool environment. Juvenile came out, did Back That Ass Up. He did Slow Motion. He did Rodeo. A lot of cool records. But I think the highlight of the entire Versus was Birdman getting on a microphone, and he's basically like, because you can kind of tell it was like some tension. A little bit of tension. And he came out and he came out and he was like, I'm the first one who started this stunt and shit. I'm the first one with tats on his face. I'm the first one with grills in his mouth and all this diamonds in his grills and all this other shit. And then he started playing the number one stunner, right? So he played his record number one stunner. And then after that, Master P came on just like, hey, yeah, you did start that number one stunner shit, but I started that bout it shit. Like, I'm from Uptown too. Mind you, this is a record that I've heard before. But like I said, like, I wasn't really privy to like the movement, so I'm like, okay. But when he played it, entire crowd went crazy. Everybody was vibing with it. And then after the fact, listening to, radio station, listening to other podcasts, and them just talk about like, oh, if you went outside, like, to see this record in real time, like, you don't really know how big it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was cool to see that. But you can kind of see where Birdman was a little bit on bullshit, and Master P was about unity and love and respect. So I feel like for the most part, but they was able to get Birdman under control, because he even started doing a rant at the end. He was talking about Turk not being there. Turk is another member of the Hot Boys. So
Shout out the young boy.
Yeah, shout out to Young Boy and all this other stuff. We was like, what's nigga? This sound nothing was going on.
This is not the time for that.
But I think the biggest flaw that everybody is talking about was it was no Lil Wayne. So Lil Wayne did not appear at the verse. Yeah, and I feel like that shit really kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I'm a Wayne fan. Like Wayne is somebody who I consider to be number one in my book. I guess you can say we talk about rappers. But I went to that verses specifically wanting to see Lil Wayne. Like, I wanted to hear his records, records that we grew up listening to. Your Mrs. Officer, even earlier records that he created that I listened to. So it sucked that he wasn't there. But what threw me off was they played a Millie, like Lil Wayne's song. Yeah. They played it. I'm like, why would you play this record?
He's not even there. Yeah.
Like that don't make any sense.
But he probably didn't want to deal with the drama no way because you see what we was already dealing with.
Yeah, but for the fans, I definitely feel like we definitely enjoyed it. Like
it was for sure, we did. That's like I said, we was in there
going crazy. That's gonna be culture talk. We're gonna get into our next segment.
So this segment is called Fried Noodle, and pretty much Fried Noodle, this is like the knowledge portion of things, like where I'm just dropping some like real facts that's going on. If you know, great. If you don't know, here it is. Also just a little bit of rabbit holing, but also keep in mind this is just something to consider when I do mention things. So foster care to prison pipelines. If you're not familiar with it, it is 100% true, and everything I'm saying, you can go check my facts. Google is there, AI is there.
She got receipts.
Got the receipts, so you can go find the receipts yourself. This is a project that they have basically showing kids that get entered into the foster system having a more chance of entering the system, being incarcerated. So according to the Juvenile Law Centers and the Children Defense Fund, 25 to 40% of formal foster youth will experience incarceration by mid-20s.
Wow.
Now, I will say, never been in foster care, but it might be a little accurate with mid-20s. I don't know what it is about the mid-20s. I don't know.
Yeah.
If we just be wilding out, trying to figure ourselves out or whatnot.
Have you been?
Yeah, definitely have been, but not for long, not for nothing crazy. My record is clean, so I don't have anything on there. But
so you've had like experience like some jail time?
Yeah, definitely had experience in
Me
that.
too.
And when we say
but
jail
in and
time,
out.
I'm not saying that when we say jail
I got
time.
bailed out right after. I wasn't in there that long.
No, I went in and came right back out. Like it was not no sit down, go to sleep, think about it.
Yeah,
I was up out of there same day. But mind you, keep in mind the 25 to 40%. That's not just a coincidence. Like this is literally a pattern, a consistent pattern. We have 60 to 70% of children that enter due to neglect, not even physical abuse. And it's really sad to say that they're getting thrown into the system from neglect and experiencing the physical abuse under their care. Like, do you know 1 out of 4 report sexual abuse?
Wow, no.
1 out of 4. What kind of ratio is that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is sick. Oh my goodness, it's so sick. So kids that normally get placed in like 5 or more foster cares, they're 90% chance of being incarcerated.
That is wow.
90% chance. Now, just something to consider. I did a little rabbit holing, spoke to a couple of people, but there is a conspiracy that we are basing how many prisons are going to be needed in America off of how many kids are being enrolled in foster care. Now, I'm off of the facts that I'm reading and off of the people that I've talked to, I strongly 100% believe that. And I believe it because there is no way that the state receives funding every time a child is entered, but yet we don't have enough money to keep the families together, to keep the kids out of the system. And with these studies showing, like how I just said, 25 to 40% experiencing incarceration time, we got 60 to 70%, going in, and if they're getting placed in these 5 different homes, they have a 90 percentile of going in prison. Like, it's wild to me. But if you can make these, if studies and statistics can come together to make these percentages, how could you not believe that they're not basing that off of that?
Yeah.
It's like they're literally telling us, when you put your child in here, we already have a cell waiting on them for when they get older. Like, it's sickening. It's really sad. And 60% of these kids experiences sex trafficking. Sorry, I'm going over my words because I couldn't even believe it when I found it out for myself. I'm like, 60. That's over half. Over half of the kids in the foster care
experiencing sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking.
Yeah.
You know,
you
but
can't make that's crazy. Like,
how do we not have? And my thing is, this information is out there. Go check the facts. How are we not finding a solution to that? Y'all know where they're targeting. Y'all know where they're going majority of the time. Yeah. How are we not coming up with any solution to putting a stop to that, or at least bringing the percentile rate down? Like, it's literally like, yeah, well, we're just gonna continue to keep y'all updated on how horrible and shitty America is, but we're not gonna let y'all know how we can fix it. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Wow, and it sucks because, you know, it's the child is just so innocent. Like, they're not, you know, being asked to get put in places like that. You know,
right?
You know, just be some people just be circumstances. Some people, you know, it's just super unfortunate, and
it really is.
It's crazy when you just think about the amount of trauma and amount of, you know, hidden agendas. It seemed like, you know, yeah.
And then let's be for real. What kind of research are y'all doing on these parents before y'all allow these kids to leave y'all jacked up system already, before going with these parents that are putting them through even more mental trauma? Like, I feel like y'all, come on now, it's time to buckle down. Y'all want to buckle down on everything else, like how much money we're making and doing all of this other stuff for assistance. Well, why are we not being that hard on parents and their background checks and doing even deeper divers, like references? Hey, can you have somebody come in and vouch that you are this type of person that you're presenting yourself to be? Because it's just like, it's no reason why these kids are going in, and then they're experiencing one trauma, going in. Now I'm dealing with a parent that I thought was going to be showing me love, care, and nurture. Yeah. And it's even worse. You know, now I'm on the verge of, I don't know, killing myself. And I don't even want to rabbit hole that part, because I'm already knowing the suicide rates probably are skyrocketing from kids in foster care.
Yeah. Man, that's
it's a lot, and it's crazy.
We have to do better, y'all.
Yes, do better. Keep your kids.
That's why, honestly, though, like, when I hear people talk about, like, not wanting to have kids, like, I've never been one of those people, because, of course, children are a blessing, but when you talk about all these other different, you know, like I said, hidden agendas or things that can happen to your child, I'll be afraid to have kids too. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't want to, you know, subject my child to that, you know, because, you know, it can be, you know, a situation where, unfortunately, that child loses both parents, right? And they have to get thrown into, you know, if they don't have like a, you know, an auntie or a grandparent that they can go live with, they have to go get put in those situations. It's not the parents' fault they was killed, but now, because, you know, your child is put with this person, like you said, where they didn't do their due diligence, they didn't do that much background check to look into this person. Now your child is with these people and they're suffering. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just horrible, and I just feel like you just stated, you know, you guys got to do better. You guys should do better.
Just something to consider, guys.
Appreciate that, y'all. So yeah, we're gonna get into the next segment.
All right. So in this next segment, we have Hometown Heroes, where we're spotlighting our locals, just giving them their flowers while they're here.
For sure.
Recognition is everything. So we are going to be recognizing Jeanette Gordon Weaver. She co-funded Williamsburg History. She's active in local racial justice through organizations like Williamsburg's Action. She made a local milestone. She was the first in Williamsburg to join DAR, which is Daughters of American Revolution. And her work includes oral history, storytelling, and she's an advocacy to ensure that the Black history in Williamsburg will not be hidden. It will be known, be made to spotlight, which I love. I love everything about that because it's a lot of times where I've even been downtown, like in the Colonial Williamsburg, and I'm just like,
Yeah, you feel it.
you know, that's all y'all. And if y'all here, like, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, Miss Jeanette Weaver. I really love everything that you're doing. You keep going, and hopefully, you know, I can get her on here to say hey.
For sure, for sure. Thank you so much for pushing the culture forward and the community forward.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It's definitely important work that you're doing, so thank you. All right, you guys, we're back with another segment. This one is called Ladies and Gents. This is where we give our opinions on different relationship situations, and this is the first story I got from Reddit. All right, so this person wrote that my boyfriend of 2 years, who is 31, says he can't marry her. She's a 31-year-old female because of something he found in her phone. So the story goes as follows. So she says, hey everyone, sorry this is a bit long. I just want to give enough context. My boyfriend and I went out of town this weekend to celebrate our anniversary. We spent the day doing activities around the city and then we went out to dinner. He's not much of a drinker, but since we were celebrating, he decided to have a few drinks. When we got back to the hotel, he was definitely drunk, but I still wanted to enjoy the night. So we started watching TV. Out of nowhere, he suddenly said, I went through your phone and saw that you cheated on your ex-fiance. I guess, okay, so she was engaged. I could never, he said, I could never marry someone like that. He also kept saying, I've known for a long time, I just never brought it up. If you want to be with me, you need to be honest. So she says, I was engaged back in 2014, and apparently he had gone way back through my phone and found old text messages and photos from that time. I'm a bit of a hoarder when it comes to messages and photos. I just never think to delete them. I have text messages going back to 2012. The thing is, everything he saw was from after my ex and I had already broken up. I had tried to explain that to him, but he wouldn't listen. He started yelling at me and calling me awful names like whore and bitch. He kept saying I was a terrible person and that he could never marry someone like me. It got so bad that when he went to the bathroom, she said she went downstairs and asked the hotel security to help her get her things so she can leave safely. Security came up with her, and even then, he kept trying to convince her not to leave. Security had to tell him several times that he couldn't stop me if I wanted to go. I ended up going to a relative's house nearby for the night. Since then, he's been texting me nonstop, telling me I'm not marriage material, that I'm a bad person for leaving him there, and that he can never trust me. I'm honestly really hurt and confused. I've never cheated on him or on my ex for that matter. Does he have a right to be upset? Is this something worth trying to work through?
Narcissist. Like, straight up. Because what you mean? How you going to try to get mad at me off of my reaction? You did it yourself. You went and got prehistorical files. And you know what? Shame on you, young man. And let that go all the way, all day. Like,
so that's your advice is she got to let it go.
She needs to let it go. Okay, so let's run back the facts, right? How long were they in a relationship?
It said that they've been together for some time. It just said we went out for 2 years. They've been together for 2 years.
So 2 years, and you've been holding on to information that is pretty much a make or break
for you, yeah.
For you, and you decide not only to bring it up. When did he decide to bring this up again?
This was like it say some time after, so I guess he found out early.
So we got our feet kicked up watching TV, and you decide to try to have a conversation with me.
After they celebrated, so they went out and celebrated, had a good weekend, came back to the hotel, and I guess this is when he brought it up.
And then we at a hotel. See, don't even, cause why it always gotta be like that? Like when you go out of town trying to enjoy yourself, it never goes as planned. And if it does for you, kudos to y'all because you got people like me waiting on their day. Every time we go out of town, you go out of town with somebody, it's bound to go down in some way.
So you say she should leave?
Oh no, all day. Like that. What? I mean, first of all, the fact that she's even asking,
like,
do you think, girl, what you think? Yeah. Like, of course you need to leave that man alone. He literally tried, for one, already attacked your character. doesn't even know the backside of the story, and has the nerve to base a previous relationship to his present one. You could have been a totally different person in that moment of your life, and it's all about growth, maturity. So yeah, if she did cheat it, oh well, it ain't you.
Yeah, so I think honestly, if you had a life before somebody is not really none of their business to a certain extent. There's certain
Yeah,
things
to
I
a
feel
certain
like you
degree.
know what I'm saying, you do have to kind of speak
And
on
then be a man and ask.
and be a
Stop.
man and ask, and and if there's something that's obviously bothering you, you should have obviously brought it up to her in the very beginning and said, hey, listen, there are some situations like, did you cheat on this person or not? If that's something that truly affects you, like you stated, it's a make or break in a relationship, let me know. Then we can figure out how to move forward. But the fact that he held on to information, the fact that he brought it up at an awkward moment, the fact that he called her out her name, the fact that he did all these things, and then even after the fact when she left, he still made sure to double down and say, hey, listen,
Yeah.
you this and that. You know what I'm saying? You're not marriage material. So I would
He paid for
definitely.
the hotel. He's mad.
So he's obviously in his feelings. But yeah, I think like you stated, he obviously, is still in his little boy phase. She gotta let that go and move on and just
And
try to figure out.
we can even talk about present day relationships with people doing that, like holding on to something and then waiting forever. You done built. First of all, it has built up. You done came up with one too many scenarios on how that situation or whatever it is you discovered could have went.
Yeah.
Like, it's just too much time instead of just being real and upfront with your partner. Like, hey, if that's somebody that you choose to be with, that you really love, and you want to spend the rest of your life with, then all the transparency is needed. Like, go to that person and ask them. And if you using your determination on however long you've been with that person can tell, like, yeah, some about this don't seem too true, then you use that discernment. But don't be sitting there finding something in there, 5 months down the line, you want to talk about, I don't want to do this because I don't think. Excuse me.
That's crazy.
And then can we point out, sis was engaged, okay? This was not just the boyfriend girlfriend, okay? Obviously there was something going on, and brother man saw that much value in her to even want to make her his wife. So let's not play our good sis like that, because you see his ass fell in love too.
Yeah. And as you can see, like you stated, she technically did not cheat. She said this is something that happened after her and her ex. So he not only is he spreading these rumors, like he's just speculating. He don't really know what the fuck is going on. So,
and literally, with that being said, fellas, ladies, please, for the love of me, do not be hindering or trying to hang over anything somebody has done if y'all have separated. I'm not hearing none of that, oh, we still together, but we not together. No. We're either together or we're not together. If we had that conversation, we ain't together, don't worry about what I'm doing after the relationship. Don't worry about that.
You can't though. That's the controlling in people, right? They be wanting to know what you got going on.
And I feel like he probably knew that it wasn't during the relationship, but like I said, that whole mentality of we together but we ain't together. Yeah. So he probably like, probably thought of an argument or a bad time they had. Did she go cheat?
He's speculating. And it's probably honestly seemed like he was trying to, maybe he was trying to break up with her too. Because you know how they say with some men where it's like they don't know how to necessarily be upfront and be like, hey, I'm just trying to like end things. Yeah. Maybe he was trying to start some shit, because the fact that he was holding on to that, he's like, I'm waiting for the right moment to bring this up to leave, which it affected you when you found it out. So it still affects you now. So obviously, you could have made that decision back then to say, you know what, we can be cool, but I don't think, I'm trying to actually go any further, because this is not in a relationship that I think I can truly put myself 100% in, be committed to because of these actions. Even if I'm wrong, I'm just feeling the way I feel. Right. I'm giving you the common courtesy to know where I stand, so you don't even have to waste your time. I don't have to waste my time. You feel me? But a lot of the time frames, like I said, with certain men, they be like, let me hold on to this, and then I'm going to bring it up, like, because maybe he did some shit, and then she like, oh, and he like, well, you did something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just waiting to, to pour this out. So I definitely would say, you're going to have to move on and just, find something better. And to my man, if you are dealing with, a person and you feel like there's, and not just my men, my ladies too, if you're dealing with anybody and you feel like there's something that it makes or break you, make that decision to leave. Like, your peace is, one of the most
Priceless.
important things. So, you don't want to just keep dealing with situations because of whatever reason. If you see something, and I always say that, especially when you have children could potentially get involved. If we have the ability to sit down and talk to people that we've had kids with or whatever, and we start figuring out, their wants, their needs, their ambition. We start, the things that would like our pet peeves. We start understanding more about that stuff about a person. We may decide to not even deal with them. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Let alone have a child by them. So a lot of time frames, I know when you're younger, you're in your 20s, you so in love and you just like, I'm willing to just deal with whatever. But you like, you know what? I know I really wouldn't normally deal with a person that, whether it was like, I don't like a person who smoke. I don't like a person who drink. I don't like a person who party too much. Well, if you knew that and you still approached her and she did all those things, you can't get upset if she continued to do them. Right. She was already doing that and vice versa, right?
This is not build your person.
Right?
Like.
Yeah, so like you have to be upfront. Like, and this whole takeaway, so from her standpoint, like you stated, he definitely is a narcissist. Go ahead and move away. From his standpoint, you have to grow up and be honest and upfront. If this was something that was bothering you in the very beginning, be upfront, be a man about it. Let her know, because y'all could have easily squashed that shit probably in the past if you told her like, hey, because for one, that's another thing too, which I'm totally against. I know people do this, and I'm gonna be real, I've done it one time, but when I was in my younger days, I don't really care to the whole going through.
I'm going through that phone. I knew you was, but I'm going through that phone.
I don't really like that. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, I'm cool with not eating for a couple of days, crying a couple of nights, but I'm going through that phone. So.
But see, look, listen, this is my thing from that. It's like, you with me, you know what I'm saying, we building this relationship together. If I've given you some level of insecurity where you feel like you have to do that, then obviously there's something that we both need to work through, because if you really think, and let's just keep it a buck, right? Nowadays, with the way technology is and everything, you really can get away with shit even on your phone. Yeah. I'm just being truthful. Yeah. But if we're in a relationship together and you know that you have some insecurity, or you feel like, no, I got to go through my man's phone, or I got to go through my woman's phone, it's like, there's obviously something that you need to really probably like work through and figure out why you have to do that. Because if I trust you, I'm not going through your phone. Even if I'm like, I have some type of like thought or something. I feel like first of all, I'll let you know, like, let me see your phone. If I feel like I need to do that. If I'm like sneaking behind your back, oh, she in the shower, let me grab her phone. It's like, okay, obviously there's something that I'm still dealing with, because my brother told me some shit real when I was younger. Don't go through that phone, because you're gonna find something that's gonna hurt your heart.
Yes, every time.
You're gonna it doesn't matter. You're gonna find something, you're gonna be distraught. So I love my peace. I'm not trying to say you need to be clueless and be dumb or whatever, but like I said, 9 times out of 10, that truth does come to the light. If you feel like you can't come to him or you can't come to her and say, hey, listen, I'm having some problems, I feel like, are you being honest with me? And they say, yeah. If all you can give me is your word, that's all I have. Right? If I feel like I need to go hire a goddamn private investigator, let me call your cousin to go hang. If I got to do all this extra stuff, we don't need to even be dealing with each other, because obviously there's something that I have to work through and you have to work through.
So I feel like underlining issue could just be the lack of reassurance. So, like for me, that's honestly
and that's why communicating that though.
Yes, communicating that, but like you said, sometimes it is a lot of the times, ladies, and me saying this, it is a lot more inner work that we need to do within ourselves to honestly get us to a point where we could just take somebody's word. But unfortunately, we go through so many traumatic experiences with relationships. Yeah. It's like, yeah, well, I took Joe's word, and he that didn't turn out too well. He played the whole time.
And that's when you let your partner know that, like, listen, because you know what they always say, you shouldn't jump into a relationship until you're healed. But of course, we don't listen to that. We jump into shit. So if you are in a relationship and you're dealing with a person, right? This is my advice, and you're like, damn, I'm really liking this guy. I feel like he's the one. But you know how you are. You know that you're bound to look through a phone. You know that you're bound to be checking his socials. Be upfront. I would tell you, hey, listen, I'm going to be real with you. I am a little off a little times, and I may do X, Y, and Z. Give him the ability to be
Why we got to be off a little bit, though?
Because
I seen that. That's why we got to be off a little bit like that.
Like, it's a little cheesy bit with that. But nah, just being upfront, just being like, hey, listen, like I'm working through some shit. I may not even supposed to be in this relationship, but I am working through some stuff. We're trying to figure out, what this whole thing is between us, and there's still some things that I can do better, and this may happen. Let that person know, because 9 times out of 10, he may be like you just said, oh, my baby need reassurance. Let me make sure that she's reassured. I want to help you, because at the end of the day, yeah, you have to do your own inner work and work on yourself. But when we become a relationship, we become one, right? So if I can strengthen you and help you, uh, kind of get through that, where you're like, damn, but this man, he shows up in ways where I never have to even second guess it. Like I never have to think it. It ends up making you like, you know what, let me do that work. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm doing that self healing, because now you get to a point where you're not even considering that. And then whatever his lows are, you express your concerns to him, and then if he loves you enough, he's like, let me do my work and make sure that we're good. That's how you create a unit together, and y'all move forward. The problem be the communication. You're not trying to tell, because sometimes, I'm not saying you, but some women that I've dealt with in the past is like, they're not going to tell you, like, just like this guy, I'm not going to tell you that this is bothering me, right? Like, I'm not going to tell you. And then later on, it's like, yeah, that bothered me. It's like, well, I've been doing that since, day one. Voice, be vocal about it. Speak about what's going on. And then we can figure out if we decide, because you may be like, you know what? I don't want to, because you may tell him, hey, I look through phones. And he'd be like, yeah, I don't want to date somebody like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then vice versa. You may say whatever. So that's my whole thing. If we're able to be vocal about it, and then if we love each other and we rock with each other like that, we can make sure that whatever those low points are, we're adding on to it to make sure that person is strong.
I love that, but we're in 2025.
You gotta be grown ups.
We're in 2025.
I know, and they say the
group of men that we are dealing with. I'm talking about generation X and down. Right? Yeah, I am. No, I'm Gen Z.
You Gen Z.
I'm tripping.
Yeah, I'm a millennial.
Yeah. Gen Z and down, alphas. Oh, no. I'm trying to tell you right now, we're not. If you can get through to them young men, thank you, brother. But other than that.
That's why we're trying to do this pod.
Other than that,
listen, young man.
y'all are not hearing that. Y'all are not doing that. Man, first of all, y'all be feeling yourselves a little too much. Let's start there, because if I come being that vulnerable, that open with a person, oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God, what? And then to even put yourself out there to that extent, and these boys nowadays, they're not hearing that. They're, oh really? Next, like, ain't nobody really hearing nobody out or really trying to connect or grow or build that unity with people like that. Like, you know what? This person really loves me, and they love me so much that they're being so open, so vulnerable to let me know, like, hey, this is where I'm at mentally with things. So that way you can show up and help them through that process. Because I'm not saying that, if I come to you with all of these things that I'm dealing with, that you're my answer on fixing it, or you're supposed to be moving a certain way to fix it. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's just about being there for that person. And if you love that person, working through those things, because everybody got red flags, okay? We all got something that another person ain't putting up with, dealing with, or hearing. You get what I'm saying? So, young men, seriously though, I need y'all to tighten up a lot of more. Like, not even a little bit, a lot of more, okay? A lot of more, because there's no way in the world I'm finding my husband in this dating pool. He might, what?
You may have to either one, go to a different country.
Oh no, that's the only answer.
2, date somebody that's a little bit older that can actually like provide that level of reassurance. I'm not saying men my age are like that, because listen, I'm gonna be a buck with you.
We keep it a grand.
I'm gonna keep it a grand with you. When I was your age, in my early 20s, I was on bullshit too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it took me, some time, but it also goes back into the individual, because I know people who are my age who are just like how we were when we was in our 20s and teenagers. People older than me who still on that same type of time.
Yeah.
So it does take the right specific person, but I feel like if you are, like I said, doing your part as far as like, okay, I'm going to still bring of course, I don't, expect for you to just give it to every single person,
Right.
because they're gonna some people will take advantage. But when you start feeling like, okay, this may be something serious, then I feel like you should have that conversation, because
you get smacked in the back of the neck and a reality check happens and you have to keep pushing. Like,
all right, so we can get into our next segment.
All right, so this is Sunday service, and Sunday service is pretty much where we are kind of just wrapping things up. We're giving a little tease for next week, but we're going to be ending giving y'all some motivational, inspirational, inspiring quotes to take on and apply to your everyday life. All right, y'all. So we have our quote by Martin Luther King Jr., and he says, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. And our struggles and setbacks don't last forever. They always have an end. So keep faith in an optimistic mindset that never ends." With what's going on in the world today, I know a lot of people are losing hope because we have a lot of people that were placed to continue to fuel this optimistic mindset and positive of good hope and change, now literally ripping things from us out of our control. But I do want you to know that one man's word is not final. God has the final say. So yes, it might look crazy today. Yes, you might be trying to figure out how you gonna make it, how you gonna get it, how you're gonna do this, but understand that he provides. And there are people who represent him showing the good and the love and that are out here to help people, support people during these hard times. And you know what? I really do love the simple fact that even in the midst of these hard times, we have those heartfelt people in our local communities putting together these nonprofit organizations to support people in times of struggle like this. Yeah. And that honestly brings me to my next thing. For Williamsburg, Virginia area, I have a couple of food banks for people that are going to need any type of food assistance in any ways. And I'm not sure, I know the Salvation Army being one of them offers other assistance in other ways and stuff. So just know all of these resources also have a resource for whatever it is that you need. But we have the Salvation Army here in Williamsburg, Virginia. We have a place called FISH, which stands for Friends in Service Helping, located in Williamsburg, Virginia. The Grove Christian Outback Center and Williams and Mary's Campus Kitchen. All of those places you can go receive food and resources for other assistance if need to be. Also, we have some free upcoming events just in the community to stay in the community, get to know, the people that you're around and networking. Sunday, November 9th is the Veterans Day celebration from 1 to 4 p.m. And that's located on 189B Ewell Road, Williamsburg, Virginia. And then on Saturday, the 8th, there's a cozy fall painting at Natalia's Art Studio. Free of supplies, just a community event to bring people together, to mingle. A good opportunity for the singles, but just a little sipping and painting and socializing. So, if you guys are in the Williamsburg area, y'all definitely check those things out. All these events can also be found on Facebook.
Thank you so much for tuning in to our very first episode of Keep It a Grand Radio /podcast. Make sure you guys tune in to Keep It a Grand Radio, which will be streaming live on Live 365. You guys will be able to hear some dope mainstream music and some dope indie music. Until next time, keep it a grand. That was hard.